Dodge's legendary direct connection high-performance parts program is back. If you know your Dodge history, you'll remember that in 1974, the direct connection parts program was launched to help Dodge owners get even more performance from their classic muscle cars. If you're a newcomer, just know that direct connection means you get factory-developed and validated components that take the guesswork out of making performance upgrades to your late-model Dodge muscle car. Ever since the 707 horsepower Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat arrived in 2015, the muscle car world hasn't been the same. Everyone else is playing catch-up. That's because Dodge SRT keeps raising the bar, upping the ante. And now, with the rebirth of the legendary Dodge Direct Connection Factory High Performance Program, owners of 2015 and up Challenger SRT Hellcats can upgrade with parts from the Challenger SRT Hellcat Redeye. And like all direct connection components, these Challenger upgrade kits were designed, tested, and validated by the SRT engineers who are the factory's high-performance experts, and they thought of everything. Each kit comes complete with all the parts you'll need, plus illustrated step-by-step instructions. And to top it all off, each and every one of these direct connection Challenger upgrade components maintains the factory vehicle warranty when installed by a Dodge Power Brokers dealer. Let's take a look at what the Direct Connection program has for Dodge Challenger owners looking for even better performance. Owners of 2015 up SRT Hellcat Chargers and Challengers will appreciate the SRT Redeye cylinder head upgrade. Now, these are ready to install, they're pre-assembled, and like all HEMI engines from Chrysler from 51 all the way up to the present time, yes, they have hemispherical combustion chambers. And what does that mean? Well, if you look at the combustion chamber, it's kind of shaped like a baseball cut in half. Hemispherical. The beauty of that is that the valve angles are such that the valves enter toward the center of the cylinder bore, so they're not shrouded by the cylinder wall, which gives these heads far better breathing than typical wedge-type cylinder heads. And while the majority of HEMI heads from the 50s and 60s were made of cast iron, all third-generation HEMIs from the 5.7 on up to the Hellcat are aluminum, so they're much lighter than anything from the past. These have massive intake and exhaust ports, and frankly, you just don't get a better cylinder head these days. Now, the beauty of the SRT Redeye heads is they have special valves versus the standard SRT Hellcat head. The intake valves are made of stainless, but they have hollow stems, so they're lighter for higher RPM capability, and the exhaust valves have hollow sodium-filled stems for better heat dissipation with that supercharged boost. These heads bolt right on, they're 50-state emissions compliant, and they come with gaskets and fasteners. Another interior modification that owners of 2015 and up SRT Hellcat Chargers and Challengers will appreciate are the SRT Redeye piston and rod assemblies. Now, these deliver the same 6.2-liter displacement as a standard Hellcat, but these have special piston forgings and connecting rods. Here's why. The pistons themselves are forged aluminum, but they have extra meat inside to withstand the extra supercharger pressure. Of course, they have the standard thin compression and oil ring packs, coated skirts, but the connecting rods are larger than standard Hellcat with ARP cap screw fittings. These are the best rods and pistons you can get for a Hellcat or a Redeye engine. Ever since the supercar 60s, Dodge has been known for having some of the best driveline parts in the business. Who can forget the nearly bulletproof Dana 60 rear axle or the 8 3/4? Well, that same thing occurs today, and owners of 2015 up SRT Hellcat Challengers with the automatic transmission will be happy to learn about the Direct Connection SRT Redeye Rear Driveline Kit, which consists of 3 key items. High-strength half shafts with 41 spline axles. The standard Hellcat has 38 splines. These also have an 8-ball CV joint on both ends. These will handle up to 770 foot-pounds of torque. Additionally, drive shaft on the Redeye is made of thicker wall tubing, also has heat-treated stub ends, and is, again, much stronger than a standard Hellcat piece, which is virtually indestructible on its own. But the biggest part of this whole thing is the differential unit. It is made of aluminum, as is the Hellcat piece, but the aluminum itself is specially heat-treated for more strength. But inside, while the Hellcat is a 2.62:1 gear ratio, the Redeye goes to 3.09:1, which is a much lower ratio, which allows better off-the-line acceleration. And inside, the gears are heat-treated and shot peened for strength and deburring. Another detail inside the Redeye differential is the differential unit itself, the limited slip, has an increased torque bias. It's a tighter limited slip, so to speak, so there's less chance of slippage from right to left for better launches. Now, these items are all sold together for 2015 up SRT Challenger Hellcats with automatics as the direct connection SRT Redeye rear driveline kit, but they're also available separately. Owners of 2008 up Charger and Challenger V8 models will appreciate the direct connection zero camber rear knuckle kit. Now here's the thing, when you go to the drag strip, what tends to happen with a car with independent rear suspension, like the Charger or Challenger, when you hit the gas, the light goes green, the car squats. And with independent suspension, the tires tend to change camber. They tip in at the top as the car squats. What that can do is change the drag slicks contact patch to the track and break traction. So if you modify or change the rear knuckles with these zero camber items, what'll happen is the rear tires will remain more vertical, they won't change camber, and you'll hook up even better. And they fit all 2008 Charger and Challenger V8 models. Another item that has a drag strip application is the direct connection Redeye torque converter kit. Now this is meant for 2015 up SRT Hellcat Chargers and Challengers with automatic transmissions. This is a high stall torque converter, in fact, 11% more stall speed than a standard SRT Hellcat converter, and 18% more torque multiplication is also provided by this Redeye torque converter. With the extra torque multiplication and stall speed, you'll get to the other end of the track even quicker. The 6.2-liter Hellcat engine requires lots of airflow to make maximum power, and owners of 2018 up Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcats will appreciate the new direct connection SRT Redeye Air Box and filter kit. The air box itself has 14 liters of internal capacity, which makes it larger than a standard HEMI air box, and the pleated conical air filter element flows 72% more air than the original style pancake Hellcat air filter unit. Combined, the air box and air filter will allow your SRT Hellcat to make full power. Owners of 2017 and newer Dodge Challengers that are not supercharged or Hellcat powered will want to know about the new direct connection Illuminated Air Catcher Headlamp kit. Again, these fit V6 and naturally aspirated 5.7 and 6.4 liter cars and give them a little taste of that SRT Hellcat energy. The kit installs easily and includes all needed fasteners and illustrated instructions. It'll help your V6 or 5.7 or 6.4 V8-powered Challenger breathe a little easier. Back in 2018, Dodge created an instant performance legend with the SRT Demon. In order to mount its four-corner Nitto drag radials, they had to add a wide-body fender flare kit. Well, now owners of 2015 up Challengers can take advantage of the direct connection Challenger SRT Hellcat wide-body fender flare kit. It looks like Demon stuff. In fact, it is Demon stuff, but better than that, it allows you to mount 315mm wide tires on your Challenger for more function and flair. One of the Dodge Challenger's most unique styling traits is its deeply recessed grille. Very faithful to the 1970 original, it's one of the reasons why these cars are so popular. Well, owners of 2015 and newer Challengers can grab a piece of that SRT Hellcat attitude with the new direct connection Hellcat front fascia. It increases airflow for improved engine cooling and increases downforce compared to a standard Challenger fascia. And again, it adds a ton of attitude. Back in the 60s, if you wanted an aluminum hood on your Dodge, you had to buy a lightweight max wedge. Well, now every Challenger comes with an aluminum hood. Are the good old days right now, or what? Well, good news from Direct Connection is the 2019 Challenger Hellcat Hood for 2015 and newer Challengers. With its functional dual snorkel air inlets and one combined with the Direct Connection Air Catcher Headlamp kit, you'll get a significant improvement in the airflow to the engine. It's no secret, the world loves the Dodge Challenger. Since its reintroduction in 2008, Dodge is selling more Challengers than ever. That's proof of how popular this modern muscle car is. And now, with the return of Direct Connection, this is the perfect time to bring your Challenger up to its peak performance potential.